post commentary for the first 3 minutes of this video or so, because it wasn't anything really interesting. It's just me going after various water types. As I said last time, Golduck is available rarely on Route 6 by surfing, and that is the only place in the entire game to get it, so I got it. That's about all that I can say about this one. Golduck is still one of the most boring water types ever, in my opinion. I don't know if I'll ever want to use one. There we go. So moving on, here is Route something. 12, I think. Yeah. Which is the most common place to find Seadra. I mean, I really don't have much to say about most of these. As I kind of mentioned last time, the ways that you catch the Pokemon through fishing in Yellow are different from in Red and Blue. Like, they did actually change stuff up a bit. I'm just gonna pull up Route 12 on a whim here and see what's actually available. Let's see, if it's Red and Blue, yeah, it's pretty much what it is everywhere. Poliwag Goldeen with the Good Rod, Tentacool, Krabby, Goldeen, Magikarp with Super Rod. Yellow just kind of changes stuff up and adds a little bit more variety, which is nice, but also makes it hard to find stuff since the Pokedex doesn't tell you where anything is. So here's a Seaking. It sure is a Seaking. Every time I'm catching one of these, I basically just... I made a list of the water types that I still needed. I looked them up on Cerebi, went to see, like, where their most common appearance was, and then went there. That's about it. Stuff like this, like, I mean, I caught Goldeen and evolved it. I already have a Seaking, but, again, it's just for living dex purposes. I don't like having the team members being the same as the collection. It didn't used to be a thing with me in Gen 4, but it has become that since, so I try to be consistent with it. And so here's the bottom of Cycling Road. I think this is technically Route 18. Shelter's like 60% encounter right here. I needed to catch 2 of these. I also caught another Staryu off screen because I need one for evolution. Didn't need to show that part, but yeah. There are a decent number of water types in Gen 1. Once you get access to the fishing rods that aren't the shitty ones, you have a pretty good selection to choose from. It's just some of them, like Seaking and Seadra, are kind of lame. Let's add Golduck to that list. Cloyster's okay. Starmie's pretty good. Most of the other ones not so amazing. Alright, so now that fishing trip is done, let's go and head to the Powerplant, I guess. What the fuck? Did the music just cut out there, or was that just me? Hold on. I'm starting to get concerned that this game is breaking just from me looking at it the wrong way. Hold on. Why? Why is the music, like, missing instruments? Is it specific to this route? God, what did I do? I don't even frickin' know anymore.
When Bumcivilian is produced, it has the effect of sucking in all the sound from its vicinity.
Before I go any further, I need to figure out what's going on with this. Yeah, there's, like, certain sound effects missing. And I've already saved a few times because I was, like, catching stuff and changing boxes, so I didn't do Mew Glitch today. Let me just make sure that there's not, like, a cable loose. Maybe it's just... Hold on. Maybe this'll fix it? Okay, now you've got the backbeat. And then if I put it on this again... Weird. Hasn't it been on earphone 3 the whole time? I mean, I ask you this as if you would know. I changed this at the very beginning of the playthrough. I guess we'll put it back on mono. If it's on stereo... Oh, there isn't a stereo. I don't know. Whatever, let's just leave it on frickin' mono. It doesn't matter. Maybe a cable got loose or something. I'm not going to worry about it too much. But yeah, let's go on a little trip down here. And I also changed up the team a little bit from last time, and I also got a couple TMs because we're going to be adjusting Borlax's moveset here. I really should have just gone with Psychic from the beginning. I'm not really sure why I didn't. I think it was because I just wanted to have a Grass move on the team, but, I mean, I also don't have a Psychic move on the team, and that's probably more useful for Gen 1, so we're going to do that. And the other thing is, as it was pointed out, basically everybody on my team already has Body Slam. Snorlax does get stabbed from that, but I'd kind of rather go for the coverage. I can always change it back if I want to, so... Because it's a TM, so whatever. This will be fine. Not really going to need it for the Powerplant specifically, but, eh. Okay, I have to check that this guy doesn't have something for through Mew Glitch. I forgot that this guy was here. This is a professional video. Yeah, there's a Staryu and an Arbok. Arbok is something that I need, but I've already got it, so... Maybe need was the wrong word. Needed at some point. I still need an Ekans, but that doesn't seem to be, possible to get off of any trainer, so I'll have to get the correct special stat and all that crap. Anyway, Rhyhorn, you dead. And I have a bad relationship with Lickitung in this playthrough, so you need to die immediately. Alright, well, wasn't that exciting? Yeah, that is what this is. So, normally, I'm a bit of a stickler for going after the three birds, like, in order. But, I already said that I was going to do the Powerplant in the last video, so I'm going to do it this time. It doesn't really matter too much. Magnemite we already have, because it was available on Route 10, but the... a couple other things in here that I need. But yeah, we're basically just going to kind of run through. Half of these item balls are going to be Voltorbs, and I don't remember which, so we're just going to fight them all. Yep, here's one of them. Unfortunately, none of them are Electrodes. Oh geez, level 40. Good thing they just don't learn any electric moves at all in Gen 1, but they can blow up, and that's annoying. Ugh. Well, so much for you, then. You had your time to shine against that trainer, I guess, and that's all you get. Here, let's lead with stuff weak to electricity. It sounds like a good idea. Which is over half of my team at this point. But yeah, the wild Pokemon distribution of the Powerplant has changed a bit throughout the games. In Red versus Green or Blue, Red gets Electabuzz as a version exclusive, and since there's no counterpart that would make sense here, Green and Blue actually just get Raichu, which is kind of weird, because you usually don't have stone evolutions in the wild like that. Although I think you can also find wild Raichu in Cerulean Cave, if I remember. Again, just Gen 1 kind of had weird wild Pokemon sometimes. Let's hope that this takes it out. It probably won't. Nope. And explode on the next turn? Surprisingly not. But yeah, then, as for Yellow, we don't have, Pikachu or Raichu available in this game outside of the starter. So, they replaced those with Grimer and Muck, probably because they were in the, like, Gringy City area in the anime, which somewhat corresponds with this area. Oh, come on, what was the point of this? And then, oh, there is Electrode. Well, shit, are you gonna explode? Because you're probably the only Electrode in the game. Huh. If I had known you were here, then I would have prepared accordingly. I mean, I don't know what I would have done, because it's not like I could prevent it from exploding with damp or anything like that. I could try to paralyze it. That might help a little bit at least. It's probably gonna blow up. Yeah. That annoys me enough for me to reset, because I don't know if there's any more electrodes, so I'll be back in a minute. It's not like I've accomplished anything. Okay, let's try this again. Now that we know that this is an electrode, I saved beforehand. But what I was starting to say, and I don't remember if I completed my thought or not, like I said, Pikachu Raichu got replaced with Grimer and Muk, and basically, I think that was the only... Oh yeah, they made Magneton more common, but other than that, it's basically the same loadout. I know in Red and Blue, you could catch Electrode in Cerulean Cave, but you could catch a lot of really weird shit in there. It was like Dodrio, Venomoth, Chansey. I think Chansey might still be there in yellow, I'm not sure. It's just kind of like the land where random things go that they wanted to stick there that have nothing to do with anything. Yes, I want to reset game. I'm holding AB and start and select. Why are you not resetting? Can you not reset during an animation? That's weird. Honestly, I might be better off just chucking balls at this thing. Because I think every turn, like, it's a wild Pokemon, so every turn it gets a 1 out of 4 chance of blowing up, because it's not going to choose its moves with any kind of intelligence. Come on. You're already a ball, you should like getting in a ball. Put a ball in a smaller ball, and then mail it to yourself. What the hell was that sound effect? I'm gonna have to play around with the cables after this, because this is getting weird. I don't know what's up with the sounds. But yeah, since I've already caught Grimer and Muk, I basically just need to catch Magneton and Voltorb, and I have now killed several Voltorbs without remembering that I needed one. Because usually in Red and Blue, they're available on Route 10, and I would have already had one by now, so I forgot that they're exclusive to this area. Whatever. Here's one. Is it gonna blow up? I've never really cared for the Voltorb family too much. Like, people usually point them out as being, anti-Gen 1-er, like, examples, basically, like, oh, if you hate this stuff so much, why do you think the Voltorb's okay? It's just a ball. I don't really agree with that, necessarily. Like, I'm fine with them in terms of them just being balls, but I think that they're fairly boring for electric types, which is already a fairly boring type as it is, unfortunately. I hate to say that, because I do like using electric types, but they're always very one-note. And in Gen 1, they're like 0-note, because they don't even get their electric moves. Like, that's always been a thing in later games, is they've always had will you stop fucking blowing up, my god. I don't even know, like... Okay, what's TM33? Hold on. Oh, okay. That's fine, I guess. And, yep, there's another one. We're gonna catch one of these frickin' assholes eventually. Nope, no we're not. But yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. In later games, electric types are always really boring. In this one, these are even more boring because they get no moves at all without TMs. And for some reason, the anime always liked using them for, like, traps and stuff. And they, like... It always bugged me because every time they'd show up, they'd always be, like, emitting sparks and stuff, and I found that very, false advertisement-esque, because I distinctly remember, even as a kid, noting that they didn't get any electric moves, and that kind of pissed me off. And they're not the only things in Gen 1 that are like that. Like, a lot of the... I mean, there's basically no bug moves anyway, so most of the bug types don't get any bug moves. There's... I'm sure there's plenty of other examples that I can't think of offhand. Didn't we determine earlier that Seal doesn't get any water moves at all? Wait, what did that description say? Let me go back. But yeah, I don't know. It just always annoyed me. Okay. I like how specifically 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit, so what is that, like 1 degree Celsius? They couldn't just change that. Like, that's another thing that I always found kind of stupid is, the Pokédex always lists, like, a very specific weight for stuff, and it always has, like, a decimal in it, and it's because they convert it from kilograms, but they keep it the exact same that it was instead of just rounding it. And I never really understood why. I felt like if they just rounded it, it would look cleaner. Like, sure, it wouldn't match up exactly, but who really cares? Thunder, okay. Not really my cup of tea, because it's a little bit inaccurate, but if you want it, there it is. We're gonna catch a damn Voltorb somewhere in this place. Will it be this one? Will I chuck a ball at it and get lucky? Yes, okay. At least I don't have to worry about that anymore. Yeah, no kidding. Self-destruct with very little stimulus. So, again, not a unique thought by any means, just me kind of repeating stuff that people have been asking for ages, but, why is it that the player sees these Pokeballs that are much bigger than usual and still goes over and investigates them? Like, especially for Electrode. Isn't that thing like 3 feet? Like, let me look that thing up. Yeah, almost 4 feet. This thing's almost the height of the player, probably. I'm guessing the player is like 5 feet, because it's a 10-year-old, maybe not even 5. So it's like, this is a really big Pokeball over here. Let me go check with this. Oh, no! I don't know, unless they can shrink in size to suit their mood, then that would make a little bit more sense, but I don't think anything's ever indicated that that was the case. So we should almost be out of this place. And another Voltorb. Yep. Ooh, another Electrode. Okay, well, now we know that more than one of them exists, and I also don't care. And a hidden item here. And here is a Burb. So we get our first, team's not looking too freaking great right now. I don't have any revives on me, do I? I do not, no. Well, hold on. I'm curious. I don't think I've ever tried this before. Does using an HP up on something that's dead revive it? No. Okay. Well, whatever, I'll keep the HP up on there anyway, I don't really care. But yeah, I kind of would like to have Thunder Wave, so let's leave and come back. I've got repels, they might help. I don't remember if the wild Pokemon were out leveling me or not, they probably were. If they are, then the repel won't do anything, but oh well. So, see you in a minute. Alright, so I am not entirely ready for my first legendary capture of the playthrough, but maybe we'll get lucky with it. I'm trying to think if I have any particularly awful Zapdos stories. I don't think I do. I distinctly remember when I would catch the birds in a yellow version, I would usually use Thunder on my Pikachu to try to get it down, and I would like reset if it killed it, and sometimes it would, sometimes it wouldn't. And I never knew why that was. Now, of course, that I understand the game mechanics a bit better, it was a combination of just the enemy's IVs and the RNG doing damage rolls, but we'll see how this one goes, because I am... yeah. I think I usually had like a level 50 Pikachu by the time I would go after these. So this is substantially lower than that. But that's fine, because I don't want to one-hit KO them. This thing's doing a good job of, like, messing up my plans, though. Okay. So let's see how many frickin' Ultra Balls this is gonna take. If this was Gen 3 or later, of course, being me, I would insist on using regular Pokeballs, or more accurately, Premier Balls, because I'm an asshole. But, this is Gen 1, I don't give a shit. And we just gotta throw balls until we eventually get it. I don't know what the odds are of success here. If it was sleeping, it would be slightly better, but... too bad. So far, I have not even successfully gotten a ball to hit it. And I've mentioned that before, how, like, you missed the Pokemon isn't, like, a thing in itself. It's basically just the message for, like, if you get no shakes. But I also want to say that the catch formula in these games is kind of messed up, and so, like, normally, when you throw a Pokeball, it does, like, 4 number rolls, and then it has to check all those to see how many times it shakes. Here, since I'm getting that message every single time, instead of, like, getting it sometimes, and sometimes getting 1 shake and a breakout or whatever, I think it's like, if it doesn't miss, then it's a guaranteed capture. And I'm not sure why that is. I might have to look that up at some point. If anybody actually knows the answer for that, you can go ahead and let me know. I don't mind, like, having that fed to me, but if nobody else knows, I'll try to look it up at some point. My guess is that it's probably just poorly coded, and it's some sort of, like, if it doesn't get all 4 of the number rolls within the right range, then it just looks at the lowest possible message. But it doesn't do that for other stuff, so I don't know. It's kind of weird. I should also point out that, I can't do this story the best oh, yeah, there we go. I can't do this story perfect justice because I don't remember the exact details of it, but a while back Joel was telling me about an experience he had with the legendary birds, where apparently, like, back in the olden days when these games were relatively new, he found a website that gave information on, like, what you have to do to catch them, and it basically said, like, for Zapdos, you throw exactly 10 balls and it'll get caught in the 10th, and Articuno, you throw 12, or, like, these aren't the exact numbers, but it was something along those lines. And apparently he had, like, experience with testing this, and it actually did work. But now, like, we can't find the website that said that anywhere, and it was full of shit anyway. I don't know, and it was, like, particularly noteworthy because in, X and Y, you have to encounter the birds a certain number of times before they appear at the one cave where they're, like, stationary and you can actually catch them. Also, hold on, before I change boxes, I think I just completely skipped through the Pokédex entry there and didn't even look at it. Not that it really matters, but... yeah, it's a fairly generic entry, but, I mean... it's Zapdos. Zapdos is cool. And, I guess we'll take a look at its stats. But, what was I saying? Just, yeah, you have to, like, encounter them a certain number of times, and I think he was thinking that, like, the number of times you encounter them matched up with the number of balls you allegedly had to throw, or something like that, which was also not true, but kind of interesting, I guess. Those sure are stats. I don't know if they're good for Zapdos or not. It's a high special at least. Again, might be possible to get that higher. I don't know what its max at level 50 is, but there you go. And because it's Gen 1, it has 2 moves. At least it gets Drill Peck. I guess this one's a trade-off. It gets a shitty electric move, but it gets a good flying move. From what I remember, Articuno gets Ice Beam and just Peck, so it's kind of the reverse. Moltres, I don't even remember what it gets. But, let's head to Seafoam. I don't know if we're going to go through all of Seafoam today, but we can at least take a look at it. Or at least, like, start getting on the way there is what I'm trying to say. So, Fat Hidoo, you are needed briefly. So that I may fly away. And your duty is immediately done. Put Fat Hidoo back in the box. Withdraw somebody. Had you before, I'll take you back, why not? And I immediately jump off the wrong ledge, good. Okay, so let's make sure Nidoqueen does not get any EVs. Luckily, catching Pokemon in this game doesn't give you any experience like it does in Gen 6 and 7, otherwise that would have messed me up. But yep, we've got a bunch of swimmers. Most of them are probably going to be extremely nondescript. Let's not lead with my electric type, because that would be the smart thing to do, and that's not what I'm about, son. There's one particular swimmer on this route that I don't want to fight, and I need to remind myself which one that is, so let me tap the A button without looking at the screen while I scroll through my Mew-Glitch map here. Is stuff dying? I can't tell. No, I think it isn't. Okay, so yeah, I just need to kind of be careful there. Oh, traumatic. Now, the good thing about the Mew-Glitch map is it also points out where all the trainers are, so I don't have to blindly surf back and forth looking for them all. I can just kind of use this. So, remember back in my Emerald playthrough when I complained about the water routes having the same exact Pokemon over and over and, like, basically no variance at all? I could probably say a similar thing about these routes, but they're at least minimal. It's not half the game. Honestly, the trainers in this might even have more variety. I don't know. One of my main complaints in that was, like, Gen 3 had a whole bunch of different water types to choose from, and the trainers that you would fight kind of just kept recycling, like, the same 4 or 5 over and over. Gen 1 doesn't have as many, but it still has a pretty good number of water types, as we determined from all the fishing that I just did in the last video and at the beginning of this one. Yeah, it's like, here at least, they're using a Poliwag. This one's not a fish. That makes me happy, because if this was Gen 3, they'd probably, like, restrict themselves purely to the ones that you would find in the ocean, and it would get really tedious. Like, they're still water types, they're still gonna be kind of samey, but, eh. Poliwhirl's a cool guy. Noises. Alright, let's get you out of the front. I also enjoy how the Pokemon games never made any kind of attempt to explain how you battle with Pokemon that can't swim when you're in the water. I mean, Snorlax is fat, it can float, so that one I'm not too concerned about, but like sending out a Golem or something, it's like, whatever. Don't need to worry about it. You're diving in the freaking ocean of Hoenn, send out a Magcargo, it's fine. And then, of course, there's the Sky Battles, or not the Sky Battles, but the, when you're fighting, like, birds, when you're soaring in Oris, and then you just kind of, like, send out whatever Pokemon you have, and it just kind of stands on a floating disc in the air, like, okay. Let's just kind of get an amnesia thing going here. Is it sad that I have a Sea King on my team, and that when I see one I still think, oh, wow, that took that Psychic way better than I thought it would. About to say, when I see one I still think it's not great, but it actually managed to kick my ass somehow. That's possibly the first time a Sea King has ever done that in all of history. Hail! Let's go back and heal. So, of course, I could be dodging all these trainers, but getting extra experience is never a bad thing. Well, okay, maybe it's sometimes a bad thing, but in this particular instance it isn't. I'm assuming surfing here only gets Tentacool. I could double check that, but that's probably the case. Okay, where's the... here we go. Yeah, there's this weird formation of 4 trainers. I don't want to fight the one on the top, because I'm going to be coming back for him later. But the other ones we can deal with, so... let's have you take a shot at something. Do super great damage with Absorb. Yeah, let's actually not do Absorb then. Except it's probably my most damaging move, maybe Body Slam. Yeah, okay, that's better. Yay, another Sea King. Is it going to somehow kill me? The tail whip noise. Okay. Not really got a whole lot to say about this. You know, we need more Sea King action. Let's do this. I like how all the sprites are identical, and yet I think some of them are male and some are female. Judging from that music, this is a beauty, right? Yeah. Oh, we get to use Peck. Let's see, which is stronger? A non-stab, low-power Peck, or a non-stab, high-power, not very effective Blizzard? Well, the Blizzard has to actually hit, first of all. Actually, they're about the same. I think Blizzard might have done slightly more. Yeah. Whatever. Are you ever gonna get any good moves? I'll get Waterfall eventually to replace Bubble Beam. I don't know how much of a power increase that actually is. And other than that, there's no Mega Horn in Gen 1. I guess Horn Drill? Don't I already have a TM for Horn Drill? I could just teach that if I wanted it. Can you not recover every turn? Thank you. And we've got our Sea King action for the day, so Borlax, don't lose to another Sea King. It would be kind of sad. I love your ride. I actually forgot that I was surfing on Nidoqueen here. I kind of like the image of that. Especially given the extremely awful back sprite that it has in this game. I just kind of picture it as being this monstrosity. And then it turns out that the entire reason I'm using Nidoqueen for my surf user in this game is a very obscure reference to the fanfic No Antidote. It was so obscure even I didn't get it. Hey look, trying to learn Body Slam. We just skipped that move earlier, so no. Stop that. Speaking of fanfics, in... what was it? The Emerald League, I think? It was one of the ones that Captain Pringle wrote back in, like, 2001. I think it was the Emerald League. The main character is about to battle this person that he heard had a sleeper team, And he's like, I know that most Pokemon with sleep moves are water types, so I'm gonna lead with my grass type, and then she sends out a grass type too, and he's like, oh no! And I just remember when I read that, I'm like, wait, are most Pokemon with sleep moves water types? I don't think that's true. The only one I can think of is Poliwhirl. Does any other water type get... I mean, I'm sure there's some, at least like now in the newer games, but back when it was just Gen 1 and 2. Staryu doesn't get it, does it? Okay, that battle was inconsequential. How about this one? Will it be just as much? Yeah, probably. Here I am, I'm like, I'll just use something other than Thunderbolt to change it up a bit, but all that's going to do is make it more tedious, so no reason to. Wow. Torpedoed, huh? And we've got one more trainer left. And we've got one more tentacle left. No, what am I kidding? There's probably like 5 more. Okay, everybody's up to 35. I'll put you up in the front again. Actually, no. You need to evolve. You will get the level first. Quiet Getaway. Full of boulder puzzles. And annoying navigation. Yeah, can you not do that, actually? Okay, fine. Here, get out here. Hyper Beam. Also, don't die to a horsey. Also, actually use Hyper Beam. Oh well. Really? Really? God damn it. Oh my god, okay. This has been a good battle. I like this one. Sea King versus Seadra. Which is more sea? The answer is Seas. Except I used a Seadra named Seas in Crystal Randomized a few years ago, so I guess that was the answer. I don't know. So here's the beauty of Seafoam Islands. It's like, let's just go past it. Oh, there's cylinders in the way. What'll I do? And then the answer is you don't go through it anyway because you can just surf from pallet and skip the whole thing. But we're gonna go ahead and do it anyway because it's here and I have to do it, and there's stuff and stupid Seafoam Island. Don't like a dumb place. It's dumb. Let's lead with my thing with 2 HP. It'll be good. After we encounter yet another tentacle. So, apparently this Sea King, of course it's a Sea King, why wouldn't it be? This thing here becomes a Dragonite through the Mew glitch, so that's kind of cool, I guess. Oh, okay. Oh, shit! I pressed A too fast. Okay, that's fine. I have more Thunderbolt TMs. That could have been really bad. Alright, well. We're just gonna end on that note. So what I need to do is go back, change up the team a bit to get stuff that isn't level 35 and 36. Reteach Thunderbolt, because that was not what I wanted to do at all. I guess we'll get rid of Body Slam. Body Slam's not a bad move, but I want to keep Double Kick. And yeah, next time we'll be doing Seafoam Islands. It's going to be real fun. We're going to do strength puzzles, look for 1% encounter rates, and then catch another burb. So, next time that. Next time burb.
つまり赤と青がこんな風にものすごい速さで入れ替わっていたんですね。
I know there are 150 Pokémon out there, but is there really one more adorable than Pikachu? I don't think so.